I'm back in Sheffield, Alabama, but this time my scooter's not parked at the base of this water tower. It's over here at the base of the American flag, Old Glory, and I'm free miking it today, so I have to pardon the cicadas, but I want to go over the 5 things that I don't like about my genuine Roughhouse Sport scooter. As much as I do like this bike, and I really, really do, I'm so happy that I bought it, there are some things that, well, just don't like. Gonna start out with a quick rundown of 5 positives, because as I mentioned, this is something that I like. Number 1 positive, the looks. I think this is an attractive little scooter. I like vintage scooters. I'm a Vespa guy, but when it comes to modern, there's something about this look that draws me in. I don't know if it's my love of the old Zuma with the bug eyes or what, but I do like the looks of this, so that's a positive. The engine. The main reason I bought the scooter was this little 2-stroke engine. I love the 2-stroke vintage sound. It's just awesome. The little buzz. And this is the only one, this and its sibling, the Buddy. The last 2 that you can buy new in the United States. And I'm told that this in its PGO form over in Taiwan, the US and the Taiwan, the last 2 countries, you can buy a new 2-stroke, a 2-stroke 50. This is oil injected. I don't have to mix the oil and gas. It does it all for me. It's fun. A lot of torque, at least for a 50cc. The comfort. Not just this seat that's lower on this sport model. The overall comfort, this is a small frame scooter. And when Americans get on small frame scooters, I'm 5'10", usually our knees are all up here at the handlebars, but there's plenty of leg room here. More importantly, one of the main, along with that engine, things that attracted me to this was it being a small frame. It has these foot plates, but not that rear one. I like this front foot plate. I can put my foot out. You can see this leg shield tapers in. And I can put my foot out, and that gives me plenty of leg room. I don't feel like a large gorilla on a small little bike. Even though it's a small frame bike, I have a lot of room. And that leads to a lot of comfort, perfect positioning. And this seat, I don't sit, back here where some people have to sit on small frame scooters, myself included. I'm actually where I should be on this. So a win-win when it comes to comfort and fitment. Another reason I bought the bike. Good job, Genuine, and it's Genuine Scooter Company that imports this. It's under their marquee, this Roughhouse. Genuine is, well, they have a cult following, I'll say, in the United States. They make some good scooters. The Stella, I had their Stella. I think that was their first scooter they ever imported. And they developed that cult following, and it has not let up. And they stand behind their scooters. This one has a 2-year bumper-to-bumper unlimited mileage warranty. I think their Hooligan has a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. But they make good stuff, and they stand behind it. And now to the downsides, and this is me. This is my view of downsides, so this would vary person to person. But in 2 years with this bike, the things that I've grown to not like, number 1, this is in no particular order, but I would say this is definitely the number 1 thing that I don't like. These headlights. Not because of the way they look. I do like that bug eye look, but I say headlights, it's actually a headlight. This is just a shell. That is a single headlight with a single bulb in there. Now you'll see a secondary bulb down here. That's just a running light. The actual headlight bulb is right there, and it's a single 35 watt bulb. Let me turn it on and show you what I'm talking about. That's it. It is running, and it's enough to kind of be seen when you're out. I always assume that I'm completely invisible on the scooter, but that single bulb, it's just not that bright. Let me go into high beam here, and you can see even during the daytime, it's just barely visible, and at nighttime it's horribly not visible, as in I don't even attempt to ride this at night because you just can't see. That does not project light out far enough. I am not exaggerating when I say I have bicycle headlights that show up better than this at nighttime a definite down and definitely my number one dislike. I might have got my numbering mixed up, but I meant to put this as number 2 if I haven't already, and that's the key. Not the key itself, it's the key positioning, because I don't know if you can tell, but this scoops in right here. That key is shoved up over to the side, and it's really hard if I want to lock the handlebars to get that done, because my fingers, there's just not room. And I don't have especially large hands, so it's very annoying to me, even pulling it out. It hits. I think if they would have just maybe molded this out a little further or drilled this right to the edge or something, there would be more room. But I mean, look at that. You literally have to bump this plastic. And I know it seems like a small thing, but I can't count the number of times that I have pulled up somewhere and been trying to get off my bike fast, whatever the situation, and I can't get this key out because it's hitting on the thing. I don't like that. Trivial sounding, but in everyday use, very annoying. As little chompers would say, it's not just a rough house, it's rough. And that's literal. This is the rear shock. This is the upgraded rear shock because I have the sport model. You pay an extra few $100, I think an extra $200 to get the sport model. And along with LED turning signals and a few other upgrades, you get this. The piggyback oil reservoir upgraded rear suspension. Well, it looks better, but to say this is a rough ride would be an understatement, much like the headlight being bad. It's just not very smooth. And this front suspension, it's okay as far as a front suspension on a scooter goes. This is a light scooter. Light scooters generally ride rough, but this one especially rough. And I think part of that is I'm just thinking I paid $200 extra bucks. If I would have bought this separate and put it on the bike, I would be very disappointed with this as an upgrade because it is a back crusher. If you have back problems, I don't know that a Roughhouse is the scooter for you. It's one that even tests my limits when it comes to what I'll accept as far as a rough ride. Let's go back to this engine. Ooh, that's hot, but this heat shield does a good job keeping the bacon down. But this 2-stroke engine, now that's in my positives, so how can it be in my bads? Along with its benefits, a 2-stroke does have its negatives, the top of which is something that for a person like me that will take reliability over performance can be an issue. Longevity on a 2-stroke, not what it is on a 4-stroke. Gosh knows how much torque out of a 2-stroke, but you're not going to get the longevity. You're not going to run into a 2-stroke engine, or at least this little engine, with 40,000 miles on it that hasn't been rebuilt. Now, the rebuilds are easy. Very, very easy. Very, very affordable. But still, you don't get the reliability. And there's also the worry, this is imported, I mentioned, only in the U.S. and only in Taiwan at this moment. When they do quit making them, even though there's a lot of parts out there, the supply could dry up. And that lands it on my negatives. If I didn't have the nostalgia and the love for that little 2-stroke buzz, this would be a major, major negative, but it's enough to land it at number 4 on my bad list. Number 5, and closing out the list, back at the engine still, the fact that this is a 50cc, hence the name R50 Sport. That 50 is for the size of the engine, which is actually 49.3 cc's, I believe, for this scooter. The problem with the 50cc is the speed. You just can't go that fast. Talked about it in other videos. 35 to 38 reliable miles per hour. About all you're going to get out of this. I mean, yeah, I can get 40, 41, maybe 42 on a top speed, but that's ideal conditions. Not something you can do all the time. So 35 to 38 is going to be it. And my thinking when I bought this, the reason I got out of scootering, I think my last scooter was a Vespa GTS 300. But there was that point a few years ago where everyone went from having either a feature phone or just a few that had smartphones to everyone having smartphones. And I felt it just got too dangerous to ride a scooter, So I got out of scootering, but now I'm thinking, now that everyone's had smartphones for a while, maybe it's a little better. But to hedge my bets for max safety, I'll buy something that's only 50 cc's, and that way I'm not encouraged to get out on bigger roads, riding back neighborhood streets, 25 miles per hour, in theory a little safer, even though now I'm finding out insurance statistics show that most fatalities in auto accidents, motorcycle included, are within a mile of your home. Still though, after 2 years, I would like to go faster than 35 to 38. As I've mentioned, I have people, this is the river down there. I don't know if you can see the water, but I live on the other side of the river, and I had to come here this morning at 7:30 a.m. just to be able to cross the bridge safely where there's not a lot of traffic. So I'm very limited in what I can do on this. And plus, there's the argument. You get down to 50 cc's, the average 50 cc scooter can only do 30 miles per hour. An e-bike can do 28, and I'm a bike guy, so that would definitely be in consideration. And now we're getting some moped-style e-bikes that really start to blur the line. And because of that, I'm going to put number 5, being the 50 cc, the limitations. Even for this fastest of the two-stroke, or the fastest of the 50 cc's, it's definitely a limitation. And that's it. My bad 5, definitely the positive, massively outweighing the negative. I'm having a lot of fun on this little bike, but I am starting to feel a little limited. Starting to think, if I'm going to still be into scootering or get back into scootering, I might need something, I don't know, to replace this or to augment it. But I am starting to have some pangs of, I should have went 150 or higher, at least a 125, like that Zuma 125, that water cooled, something like that. But so far, still enjoying my little Roughhouse. Just wanted to share the bad. In case you are shopping, things to consider. You need to weigh the good with the bad and not get sucked in with nostalgia for that little two-stroke buzz. As cool as it is, you need to think about all the factors. And that's why I'm making this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment below with what you think. Am I right? Am I too nitpicky? Would you have bought this? Let me know, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.